In my career as a project manager, I've had occasions where I had to manage multiple projects at a time. I can remember one occasion where I was given the responsibility to have oversight of up to 50 projects. That was serious. In fact, that was the situation that happened to me and led me to actually create a process for effectively managing multiple projects at a time without getting overwhelmed or being stressed, and managing them so I can effectively deliver value quickly to the organization. So in this video, I'll be sharing my 7-part process for effectively managing multiple projects at a time without being overwhelmed or stressed. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber, yes, high five. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey and supporting me. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited and glad you're here on this journey with me. My name is Ogaga Johnson, and I help aspiring and established project management professionals to start and grow successful and thriving project management careers. And on this channel, I share everything about a career in project management, including life lessons from my project management career and business. So if you're interested in learning about project management, in growing or starting a career in project management, then click on the subscribe button and let us learn together. So managing multiple projects at a time could be so overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. And based on my experience, I formed a 7-part process that you can use to create structure in your career while managing multiple projects in order to prevent any form of stress or the feeling of being overwhelmed. So here is the first part of my process. It is plan. I love planning. So when I say planning, it means to map out the activities for the different projects that you're handling. Map it out. It doesn't have to be mapping it out for a very long duration. It could be mapping it out for the next 1 week, for the next 2 weeks, or for even the next 1 month. I would say don't do more than 1 month at a time so you're not, overwhelmed because that's the point, not to get overwhelmed. So map it out, for a duration. I normally do 2 to 4 weeks map out. When you map it out, you get to know, okay, what are the key activities that need to be delivered within the next 2 weeks on this project, or on that project, on the first project, on the second project, on the third project, on the fourth project, on the different projects you have. What are the key activities? Okay, when you've mapped them all out, it gives you that visibility and that that confidence. Okay, I know what's to happen in the next 2 weeks for all my projects. Also, one of the key reasons why sometimes we get stressed and overwhelmed when we're managing projects is because we're trying to keep everything in our minds. We're trying to keep everything in our heads and not forget anything or not miss out anything. But when you have it all mapped out, you're not trying to remember anything. If the thought of, what about project number 2? Oh yeah, no worries. Let me go to my map and check what I'm meant to do in project number 2. You're not trying to think and remember, what did I say I will do in project number 2? You don't have to do that. And that's the very reason why mapping out the activities you have on each project, clearly written out, clearly stated what those activities are, they're very important because it will help you to know that, I have the activities somewhere, I'm covered. These are there. And when I need to know what they are, I have somewhere that I can run to check them out. So map it all out. Let it be clear, okay? All laid out. It will also help to pass across information to the various project team members that you're working with. Number 2, the second part of my 7-part process, it is to prioritize. Now you have all your projects, whether project 1, 2, 3, 4, regardless of the number, all of them mapped out in the activities. Now you can prioritize, okay? Because one thing to note is that, yes, every project, maybe all your projects have tight deadlines, but within 1 week, 2 week time frames, some projects might have a higher priority in terms of delivery than the others, okay? So based on the priority of your project, so it could be that project 1's deliverable due date, one of the key milestones, the due date is within this week. So I need to prioritize that project. project. The other project, okay, the milestone is not until 4 weeks, so maybe I can deprioritize it. I still will look after it, but deprioritize it and focus on A. And make those judgment calls on the priorities. And if you're not sure what the priorities are, you can ask your project sponsor. But remember, the priorities should be tied to, the value that the project is meant to give to the organization, or simply can tie it to various milestones, deliverables, or key activities that need to be delivered within each of the projects. So prioritize all of them. And once you've done that, you can do the third part of the process, delegate. Okay, you have project team members, hopefully, that you're working with, or, an assistant or a coordinator or someone else that, you can give out some work to. So what you can do is, okay, I'm focusing on those projects that have very high priority. Okay, they are important and they're urgent. Those projects that don't know their priority is high, but they're not urgent because maybe their due date is not until the next 2 weeks. So we're talking about these 2 weeks now. That's what I'm focusing on. So because of that, I can delegate some of the key activities that are important to someone else, someone on my team, and by delegating that, then I can focus my time and energy on these other ones. So be open to delegating. Don't try and do everything by yourself. If you have project team members around that you can delegate tasks to, please do so. It also helps to build high-performing team members. When you're giving them some tasks to do, you're building them up to be able to, take on more responsibility and help you to effectively manage multiple projects as well. Then the fourth part is use your calendar. Guys, I cannot overestimate how using my calendar helped me to manage multiple projects. On my calendar, I schedule everything. I block out focus time. Okay? So using your calendar will help you to manage the time you have daily. I block out focus times, right? 2 hours. Most times I block out 2 sets of 2 hours on my calendar. And those are the times I'll use to do like activities that I need to do, like maybe to write a report, maybe to follow up on some, suppliers, to follow up on, different activities that need to be done. So those are the times I will use to actually work on those key priorities that I've said, okay, it's only me that can work on. Block out those focus times. Also, something that is very important, block out break times. Yes. See, you need to revitalize. So block out time for break. Yes, because you're managing 50 projects, 20 projects, doesn't mean that you shouldn't go on break. Please, you need those break times in order to get refreshed and for you to just relax and rest a bit, okay? That way you're able to perform even way better. So by taking, some people feel like if I take time off to relax, I don't have enough time. That's 30 minutes I would have used doing something. But do you know what? The truth is that by taking out that break time, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 20 minutes, right? When you come back, you'll perform way better, like about 80%, even much more better than you would have if you didn't go for the break. So yes, it may look like you have more time because you didn't take that 15 minutes break, but your productivity is reduced because you didn't take the break. So take those break time, block out 20 minutes break, 30 minutes break, okay? And one other thing that you can do is, occasionally, maybe after every 1 hour, maybe you can put a 5-minute stretch break or a 5-minute water break just to stretch or to have a glass of water to just refresh yourself or to just, pause. And then apart from this 5 minutes break, take out a 30 minutes break to have lunch, to just eat, to refuel, to get that energy, better. So you need to do that. So use your calendar. So block out focus time to do different key activities during the day. Also block out break times. They are very, very important, okay? Fifth part of my 7-part process is team meetings. Very, very important. Now you have your activities, they are prioritized, you've delegated a couple of things, you've blocked out time that you know that you need for yourself to do the key activities, to take your break, water break and all that. Now, the time left, in your diary. Use this remaining time to book team meetings with your team members. So if you're using an agile methodology to deliver most of your projects, most likely you are blocking out 15 minutes daily as your daily stand-ups with your team members on the various projects. Block this time out, okay? Because this will help you and the team members to understand where you are. It will help for you all to micro commit to each other and ensure that everyone is accountable and doing the tasks that they need to do, working on the activities that have been, assigned to them or that they have chosen to do by themselves if it's a self-organizing team. So block out these team meetings, block out working group meetings, okay? Block out update meetings. Those are some of the key meetings that you need to block out in your diary and set them, okay? This way you're creating a structure, okay? And let them be. I know some people say, oh, don't do recurring meetings, but trust me, for projects, you need those recurring meetings. Why? Because it helps everyone know that, for example, on Fridays at 12 or, at 1 o'clock, at 10 a.m., whatever the time is, we meet with project manager Ogaga on project A. That is so important. Because then everyone knows that before Friday 10 a.m., whatever activity you need to do for Project A, ensure it's done, because on Friday by 10 a.m., we're coming to provide updates. So that is very important. It keeps that structure. Everybody knows it. Everybody's expecting it. So everybody, will come in terms of the project team, will come knowing that they need to deliver something. They need to provide updates. And what I've noticed in my career is once I have those things, sometimes it's even that Thursday before the Friday, that you see people rushing to do their activities. But I rather you rush your activities on Thursday and come on Friday to give me an update than for that meeting not to be there, or that structure not to be there, and then you come on that Friday and you don't have an update for me. No. So that's why it's good to create those recurring meetings. Let it be stamped that on this date, this is what's happening every single Friday at 10 a.m. So create those team meetings, okay? Set them up. Whether it's your daily stand-ups, whether it's your working group meetings, whether it's your progress update meetings, fix them for your different projects at different times, and that will help to create that structure. And your team members will also know that they expect to deliver something during these meetings. The sixth part is project tracker. You need a project tracker. Because like I said, you don't want to try and be remembering everything that is going on. And, in the first part, we did a mapping out of your different activities for your project. But that was for like maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 week to help you with your daily schedule. But the project tracker is basically to have the plan, the full plan for all your projects on it. So basically, when you have that tracker, you can go on that tracker, whether you're built it on Excel or use a project management tool, that tracker that will show you project A, these are the various activities you have lined up for the duration of the project, or for as long as that project has been planned, the timeline, you have all of them there, and you can then, track how the project is doing, monitor and control the different projects. It will always be great because it will help you with your reporting. Now, you can use it on Excel if you don't have a project management tool within your organization. But if you have a project management tool or you have the opportunity to request for one, then there are various project management tools out there that you can use as your project tracker to keep track of your project, right? You have tools like Asana, you have tools like Trello, you have tools like Jira, MS Project, Smartsheet, ClickUp. You can use any of them. For me, my various projects, I've used Jira, I've used MS Project, I've used Smartsheet, and within my organization, my PM consulting organization, we actually use ClickUp because that's one of the tools that we like. So you can use any of these tools to help you with your project tracker. Now, before I had these tools, and in the organizations I've worked in that did not have these tools, I used basically Excel to create a project tracker, and create this framework so it's easy for me to update myself on where the projects are, to keep myself in the know, and to really monitor and control my projects so that they do not go off rail. Because now I'm not just managing one, I'm managing, multiple projects, right? And for me to be effective in managing this project, I need a tracker where I can go in and see the health and the status and the performance of each of my projects. Now, I did a video where I described and I explained, with live examples, the various documents that are very essential when managing projects. You could click on the video, it's popping up now, to see what a project tracker could look like, especially if you have to use Excel or any other project management tool. Now, the seventh part and the final part of my 7-part process for creating structure in order to manage multiple projects effectively without burnout is reporting. Guys, I cannot overemphasize the value of reporting, right? So for me, I like doing weekly or bi-weekly reports on my projects, my various projects. The reason why I do this is because it also helps me with my planning, especially if I've mapped out and I've done my planning for 2 weeks, right? And I do a bi-weekly report. It helps me to know that, okay, these are the activities I need to do for the next 2 weeks. Because in my project report, I'm like, these are the activities we completed this week on this project. These are the issues. This is the status. These are the project is performing. And these are the activities I plan to execute or plan to deliver within the next 2 weeks. So by reporting, I'm re-emphasizing to myself and I'm telling myself, this is how the project is and this is what we need to do. I'm also communicating to my key stakeholders, my sponsors on the health of the project, keeping them informed so they know what's happening, which is very key. Communication is very key. And then also by doing that, I'm also doing a retrospective of how the project week has been, in the last 2 weeks or in the last week, depending on the frequency of my report. And as I'm doing a retrospective, I'm also planning ahead with the reporting of what my mapping will be like for the next 2 weeks or, the next 1 month from all my projects in order to deliver on the activities and on the objective of the project. So this is my 7-part process to creating structure so you can effectively manage multiple projects without the feeling of overwhelm or feeling stressed or burning out. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to share it. Or if you have other methods that you use in order to, prevent burnout or stress when managing multiple projects, please share it. People would love to read and learn from you as well. And if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share with others so that they too can benefit and learn from this video. And please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.